Hello friends, in this session I'll be covering list and a bit of set if the time permits. So let's start with list. As you Let me comment this out. Command one. So as you can see, I in the last session I created an empty list, and here I have added few elements to that list. If I execute this, then a list is created. Let me just clear this screen for you. So a list is created now. I can count the length of this list, how many elements are there. By doing this, I can know the minimum value in this list, maximum value in this list, or a count of a given value. So let's say I want to count 1 or count 7, which comes twice. I want to know the index at which 7 comes. It is 6th. It is also at the 7th index, but it will tell you the very first index that it encounters, and then I can use this index to again just maybe if I do like this, then I have passed the index, so I can print 7. So this is how you play with a list. You can then maybe add an element to a list. So if you want to add an extra element to the list, you can just say append. Now it's not necessary that the list is of a single data type, so I can add a string as well to my list. You see my list now. And if I want to pop out certain elements, say from the third index, I can pop that out, and now 4 is not part of our list. I can insert something at any given index. So let's say insert at say the very first index, the string ABC. I can do that also. Now our list looks like this. List also supports mm, aggregation also, but then all the values should be numeric. So right now it will fail because int str is being, we are trying to sum it up, so it doesn't work. Now if I want to say see the last 3 elements of this list, I can give something like this and I will get the last 3 elements. If I want to see the last element, I can do like this, first element, or you can actually give the index and you will get that index. Now I can do say first 3 elements. Let's have a look at our list. So from the, if I just say from 1 to 3 or 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 9, these are all numbers, right? Now I can say what is the sum of all this, because now it is again a list in a way, so I can get the sum. Then there is one part of list, and we can do list comprehension. So this is a Pythonian way of creating a list. So list comprehension means when suppose we want to create a list of numbers and for certain values, so for x in range of 0 to say 10 is a for loop, and if you see in for loop is indented like this, I can print the value of x, so we get the values from 0 to 9. Now before I go back to the list comprehension, let's just play around with this syntax. If you see, if I remove the indent here, then I'll get an error saying that an indented block is expected. So the syntax in Python is always an indented block. But if I bring it in the same line, I will not get that error. But this is not the correct way. It doesn't look good. Now let's go back to how we can utilize x in range of. So x in range of x, for x in range of, this is what we are looking for. Let me create a list out of this. Let's say y for y in range of say 0 to 10. Now we have a list. So directly we can create a list like this. Let's append few more value. I can even say set of x, which doesn't change x basically, but still it just does a normal operation and converts our set into a list by removing the duplicate element. So in a list there are no duplicates allowed. That is the property of list. But this is just a temporary list. If I want to convert x into say a permanent list, now there is no indexing here. So there is no indexing left after we do such an operation. So set never allows indexing, but working with set is faster. So suppose I want to search 1 in x, I'll get true, but 14 is not in x, right? I'll get a false. But if I'm working, I can do the same thing on a list also. So let me convert the set back to a list, and I can still do 14 in x and 1 in x. But the set, when x was a set, then this operation was far more faster. You won't notice it here because it's a very small example, but when you are working with large files with say millions of records, set is the way to go. So you need to use set for such operations. Now just coming back to our list, so let me make the list x, and now x values are these. We can, as I told, I can add a string also to a set, sorry, a string also to a list, as well as a list itself to a list. So I can say, let's say a list of a string and a number, I add that as well, and if I see the last element, it is a list now. So then I can say 0 and I can say 1. That is also possible. Now in the same example, if I go ahead and let's say we add an empty set to our list, I can do that also. I can even add a empty dictionary to our list. Right, now x equal to set of x, will it work? No, it won't work because there is a list of list in the set. So I need to remove that. So I can remove a certain element like this also. I can just say similar to index, x doesn't have, let's say it works. No, it still doesn't work because we have a set also and a dictionary also. So these things, if I remove, then x can be converted to a set. So these were certain examples of a list, what it works on. Now just let me just say list to say my name. Now x is list. This is also, you can do the list indexing here also. So you can say len of x and it will tell you it is 11, and I can say x of minus 1, x of 0. Let's take the first few. I want the last 3 characters from my name, really. So I can manipulate a string by considering it to be a set. Okay, I can even do this x equal to x dot split of, say I have splitted by a space. Now x is now a set because space is there, right? So now I have two elements here. Len of x is 2 and x0 is say this and x1 is this. Okay. Then we can manipulate the elements of, let's say I want to say y dot upper, I want to convert for y in x is all upper cases, right? Similarly y dot lower, then if I print x now, everything is in lowercase. I can even say let's say replace, if say r comes, replace it by nothing and x becomes this. So these are certain manipulations that you can do with a list. I guess I'm running out of time because I have to limit my videos to 15 minutes. So in the next session I will cover set and we'll see what we can do with sets. Okay, once we have covered set, the next thing that we need to look at is dictionary and tuple. Tuple will not take time, and then we will use all these to manipulate the files, like reading text files and writing back to the text file. I'll go through certain examples from this particular toolkit that I have created, and we'll see how we can manipulate using these particular things, these particular data structures, how we can manipulate a file. After we are comfortable with that, we will move on to pandas data frame, which is far more powerful than these data types, these inbuilt data types. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I'll meet you in the next session where I'll cover set. Bye for now.